I'm not gonna lie, Kate Mara's hair in this was kind of a turn on. In Morgan, a group of scientists have found a way to create, in a sense, a hybrid of artificial intelligence and human, and do this in a way that this human named Morgan could possibly function in our today's society. But an accident happens, and now a person from corporate has to come down and check out Morgan to see whether or not Morgan is stable to continue to live or should be terminated. Now, going into Morgan, I was hyped to see this film because, one, this comes from Ridley Scott's son, Luke Scott. This is his directorial debut, and I and myself am a big fan of Ridley Scott, so I was excited to see what type of, wisdom he bestowed upon his son. Fortunately, though, Morgan is a bit of a disappointment for me. Like, it never really breaks out of its shell and becomes this sort of cool, hip, sort of sci-fi film. And I honestly have to blame a lot of this film on another previous film called Ex Machina that came out last year. It was such a phenomenal film. Unfortunately, this just feels like a cheap, sort of watered down version of that. I don't like to compare movies so much to other films, but it's so easy to compare this film to that. The performances are good. I would have to say the standout performances is this one scene with Paul Giamatti, our girl Morgan, Anna Taylor-Joy. I thought she did a really good job, but in my opinion, I really liked Kate Mara in this role. I thought she was cold, she was hollow, she came to do her job. The supporting cast didn't really impress me. They just came off wooden and boring, and they just, honestly, all the characters didn't really get much to do in this film, because I did feel like there were way too many characters in this film. I think the biggest disappointment is Jennifer Jason Leigh from The Hateful Eight. Her character is so underutilized. You have a great actress like her in this film, and you don't really do much with her. It's also painfully predictable. Because it's so generic and basic, you kind of know where this film is going, and I wouldn't even be surprised if you guessed the plot twist to this film, because it's kind of almost too spelled out too early on. You kind of know what's going to happen, and I guessed it with like an hour left into this film. Morgan is not necessarily a bad movie, but also not necessarily a good movie. It's just a very painfully disappointing, mediocre film, and I would only recommend, if you were going to watch this film, watch it on Netflix if it ever comes up on a streaming site. As the score goes, I'm going to give Morgan a 2.5 out of 5. So you guys, have you seen Morgan? Let me know in the comment section below if you did. What'd you think of the film? And until next time, I'm the Slash Movie Reviewer, and you guys have just been Slash.